Hey, TSL, what does any of your success have to do with a straw? Bro, it's got everything to do with it. Stay tuned and I'm going to tell you why. All right, hit the wrong button. All right, TSL Nation, let's get it. Welcome back or welcome to another edition of Sales Life. And Sales Life is just not for those in the sales profession. It's for those who are building the life skills of selling. Now, there are people who say, Marsh, I don't watch your episodes, man, because I'm not in sales. Yes, you are, because you're selling your way through life, to, through, and from something. So glad that you are here today for today's episode. If you missed this on episode 603, I would urge you to go back and check that one out. Episode 603, this whole week, man, all three episodes, we are riffing out of Zack Friedman's amazing book, The Lemonade Life. And it is so many parables that you can draw from and apply those to your sales life. So episode 603, we talked about sometimes, man, you find that you are on this, you find that you're stuck in life, right? And it's just like not getting anywhere. And I feel like I'm wasting all this time. And there are people that you went to school with that seem like they're slingshotting forward and way ahead. But I'm telling you, man, if you embrace the 5 E's, which is what we talked about in episode 603, if you embrace those things, you're going to find more clarity in everything that you do. And the 5 E's are explore, endeavor, experiment, embrace, and engage. If you're curious about those, you got to go back and listen to those episodes. That way, it'll kind of add some context to what we're going to talk about today. Because many times, man, it's like you just kind of run alongside of a train. That's what it feels like some days. So the train's not passing you by. It's not. So you're just running alongside of it. So, and as you do, you're going to get closer and closer to the tracks, be at that speed, and then you're going to be able to jump on. So while you're soldiering on your journey right now, we put some context on it. You're not stuck. It's not over. You're not the only one who doesn't know what they want to do at portions in their life. And some of it's taken 40, 50, 60 years. You ain't done either. So while you're soldiering on in your journey, I want you to be reminded of the evolution of the straw. Dude, when I heard this from Zack Friedman, I was like, oh my gosh, man. And in the past 5,000 years, man, there's only been 2 primary changes to the straw. Just 2. I didn't even know the straw had been around for 5,000 years. Did you? So 2 primary changes in the straw. They made it more durable and they made it more flexible. But it wasn't until like the 19th century that the straw, see, back in the 19th century, the straws were made of ryegrass. You imagine drinking your McDonald's drink with a ryegrass straw. And so obviously by the end of the drink, your straw had dissolved and it was in the bottom of your drink. It was just part of it, man. It was just, everybody just kind of lived with that. And it wasn't until the 19th century that Mr. Stone, he got tired of his of ryegrass being at the bottom of his drink, and so he made some changes. He made some changes and did a manila paper straw and put a paraffin wax coat on it to make it more durable. Hence the straw we have. But that's not all. Now, it gotten up into the 19th century and nobody changed the straw. Everybody just accepted the way that it was. Primary changes. So then in the 1930s, a malt shop owner, his brother, he took his daughter there to the malt shop. And she was having a struggle drinking her milkshake. And you know, when it's I don't have a straw in front of me. So you know, when kids are small kids, they have trouble arching their neck to get up to the straw, right? And then you got to kind of bend the drink and everything like that. So the guy noticed that his daughter was struggling, and he said, let me make some adjustments. So he tweaked with straw and ended up making that straw more flexible. Hence, we got the flexible straw. So in 5,000 years, 2 major changes occurred. One was durable and one was flexible. But bro, those 2 things were only 50 years apart. See, it went all that time and nothing really changed. And within 50 years, 2 game changers that changed the straw game. I call it the Roger Bannister effect. You remember the Roger Bannister, story we've all heard? The guy, nobody ever could run a sub 4-minute mile. They said it just couldn't happen. And Roger Bannister broke the 4-minute mile. And once he did, then I don't know how many it was, but so many broke into the sub 4-minute mile too. It took someone doing it. And then all of a sudden, everybody else, or except me. And now that's just, I guess that's a requirement for cross country running. So within 50 years, man, 2 major game changers for the straw game, man. But see, these guys, they didn't change the straw. They didn't reinvent the straw. What they did is they made some tweaks and made the straw better. Friedman's words, and this is the paradox to it, man. Listen to what I say. This is a paradox. Progress takes time. But when it happens rapidly. Now think about that for a second. Progress takes time. Oh, it's going to take a while. But when it happens, the progress happens rapidly. So where it seems like, dude, you're going super, super slow. Nothing's happening. Oh my God, this is never going to end. And then all of a sudden, whew, you fly by. Dude, I can testify to that. My weight loss was 4 months. 60 plus pounds overweight. For 4 months, man, I was showing up at 5 o'clock in the morning, wasn't nothing happening. I was eating all the right foods. I was doing all the right things and nothing. It seemed like some people could look at a meal and lose weight. I could look at a meal and gain weight. But I kept showing up. I kept putting in the progress. It's going to take time. Until is my time frame. And then all of a sudden, 4 months into it, everything rapidly changed for me. Totally changed. And the weight was like melting off of me. I was that guy who could, I don't know, walk 10 steps and lose a pound, it seemed like. It was like I could do no wrong. Yet 4 months ago, dude, I could do nothing right. You know, when you're on your journey, the days are long, but the years are short. I've had so many instances when I got demoted. Days were long. Trying to figure out how to learn again. My department. Exposed as a fraud. Days were long. But when I look back on it, it wasn't that long ago. It seemed like it happened like that. But when you're in it, oh my God, it seems like it's never going to end, doesn't it? The days are long, man. The years are short. So it may seem like, dude, that you're in this wilderness experience, but you have no idea that you may be on your shortest path and not even realize it. So it may mean on this path, you got to think of the evolution of a straw. So it may mean while you're on this path, man, it may mean that you have to make some tweaks to what you're doing. But remember, man, your success is a formula, right? We talked about that. It's an experiment. It's one of the E's. So it may mean that you have to make some tiny tweaks along the way in the direction. Go back and listen to episode 495. Change is 3 degrees at a time. You have to think of your life like you're steering an aircraft carrier. And it's 3 degrees, dude. So many times, man, you want to change and you want everything to be an about face for you, but it doesn't work that way. Change doesn't work that way. It's 3 degrees at a time. But when it all adds up, you're going to find your life turns a complete 180. I tell my daughter, look, you're not going to be a fast reader overnight. It's applying to it every day. It's your 3 degrees that you do every single day. That's what you got to do. It may mean, man, while you're on this journey that you have to adjust your intensity. And sometimes, dude, you got to ramp up your intensity. Sometimes you got to, maybe you're too intense and you got to kind of fall back in the sense because this is a marathon, man, that you're on. And we approach it like a sprinter, but you run out of gas and then you quit because you're tired. That may be the case. It may mean that you have to adjust your sale. And I don't mean the S-A-L-E as a salesman. I mean that you have to adjust your sail, S-A-I-L. So when you adjust your sail, what do sailors do? So when the winds change, they don't sit down on the boat and say, damn, I wish I had a motor. No, what they do is they actually adjust the sail. So the adversity that they were hitting, now it propels them forward. And sometimes, dude, that's what you got to do. You got to adjust the sail, man. Don't sit down and talk about the advantages of what someone else has, or don't talk about, you wish you would have had this and nobody properly trained you and nobody did. Don't even give me all that, man. Don't adjust your sail. This is what you're doing right now. This is what you're adjusting to. And it may mean, dude, that you have to adjust your rhythm, and that's your cadence. And as you adjust your rhythm, dude, you get your sea legs, man. While you're at sea, you're embracing the struggles. You're embracing the diversity of different obstacles, decisions that you've never had to make. No man's land. No one's there to help you. People are actually there in front of you to work against you, it seems. You adjust those sails, and all of a sudden, they're helping you. They're propelling you forward. Let me remind you of this, man. Your life is not headed toward the salvage yard. So many people I talk to, I talked to a guy yesterday. He's like, man, all this Zoom connections and all this, man, I'm 60 years old. I'm like, so? What the hell has that got to do with anything? Just because you're a certain age, just because you're a certain level in life. Oh, so what you're telling me is you can't adjust. Why not? Choice is yours. So you're not heading for the salvage yard, man. Pfft. No, you're on Savage Road. You're a savage, man. And so you have to recycle the track that you're on. You just got to keep recycling it. When you're going down the highway and you see those big rubber pieces? As a kid, man, I used to think that the highway department put those rubber as like part of the road. So, when those big pieces come off these trucks, well, as these big pieces come off in your life, man, some of those pieces get reapplied, get recycled to your life, get retreaded, and get reapplied in a different way in your life. Because sometimes, dude, it takes a long time to find yourself. I'm a testament. Your Honor, I'm guilty. It does, man. Takes a long time. Go back and listen to episode 437. 495, 437, and then 603. That's your assignment before we get back on the next podcast. And I'll put the links in the show notes so you can jump on. So your TSL action item of the day. Let's rock out, man. You have to think of your sales life like that of a straw. It's the evolution of a straw. You got to be durable and you got to be flexible. See, you have to be durable enough to withstand the obstacles. You're going to have a lot of stuff coming at you, especially, man, when you, why is it, all of a sudden, I decide to change and all hell breaks loose because you decided to change. That's why. It's the way it goes, bro, because you're finally growing. So it's change. And so when you screw up, I posted this yesterday, your screw ups, it's the furthest you've ever been, but it's not the furthest you'll ever be. Remember that. So you got to think of the evolution of a straw, dude. You got to be durable in this game. It's a long game you got to play, and you got to keep making the adjustments along the way. You're not personalizing it. It's not pervasive. Won't bleed on everything else, and it's not permanent. You just make the adjustments. So you got to be durable, and damn it, you got to be flexible. And the flexibility is being able to stay light on your feet. Hold on loosely. Remember that old song? Hold on loosely. That's what you got to do, man. You got to hold loosely to those things. And so that's why I say you got to handle the loss, don't hold the loss. You got to handle adversity, don't hold adversity. Because you got to stay nimble. So what thing are you better at? Are you flexible or are you durable? Because I've met people in the sales life that are durable. Oh, they're durable. They can take a punch, yet they're not flexible. I mean, they've gotten the hell beat out of them. But they got the hell beat out of them, and that was it. So some people are flexible, some people are durable. So some people are durable, but they're not flexible at all. They're strong men, but can't touch their toes in life. They're too stiff. And then I've met flexible people who weren't durable. So the minute they felt some sort of push, some sort of obstacle, they're going the other direction. You got to be both, man. Your sales life is all about durability and flexibility. We'll wrap up this week's episodes of the sales life. We're going to wrap that up on episode 605. And we're going to finish off Zack Friedman's amazing book. Say hello to Zack Friedman. He's on LinkedIn and Twitter, and connect with him. Also, man, put a bug in his ear, tug on his ear a little bit, and let him know that, hey, man, why don't you come on to the sales life? We'd love to have him here in his own words, explaining the Lemonade life. So with that, that's your TSL action item of the day. I want to hear your comments, man. Leave me your comments, thesaleslife1@gmail.com. You can text me, 337-565-0906. Or you can leave your comments if you're watching this on the replay or you're watching this live. Be sure and share today's episode, man, with someone who needs to hear this episode, because we can only get bigger and grow as a community. Can't do it without you. I can put all these episodes all day long. Ain't nobody going to listen to them. Ain't nobody going to watch them unless you say, need you to hear this one. How did this one resonate to you? Love to hear from you. So with that, remember, the greatest sale that you will ever make is to sell you on you, because you're more than enough. Stay amazing. Stay in the sales life.